here at Sound on Sound with Danny from Novation, and Danny is going to show us a brand new polysynth from Novation called the Peak. So Danny, what's it about?
So the Peak, it's a hybrid synthesizer. We're mixing the best of digital and the best of analog together to make a really nice, warm but flexible sound.
Can you tell us quickly about where it's come from then? Because this has a rich heritage, doesn't it, this particular synth?
Yeah, so it's designed by our synth designer Chris Huggett. It's got parts of the bass station in there, so we've got the bass station filter, but it goes a bit further.
Let's have a listen then.
Okay. So this is Peak. It's our 8-voice polyphonic synthesizer. It's a hybrid, so it's got a digital front end with the oscillators here. It's got an analog filter, analog VCA, digital effects at the end, and lots of modulation, 2 LFOs, 3 envelopes, and Animate controls. So it can sound really analog like this. Or we can also delve into the digital side with wavetables and have something like this with more kind of organy. So this synthesizer here, it's using our new Oxford oscillator technology. These oscillators, they're running at a really high rate at 24 megahertz, and they're pretty much indistinguishable from our DCOs on the base station. We move across into the mixer section, mix your 3 oscillators together here. We've also got ring modulation and noise, filter, multi-mode, low pass, band pass, high pass as you expect, screaming resonance, load of onboard modulation options, so we can apply LFO, we can apply oscillator 3 to the filter, we've got the amp and mod envelope going to the filter as well if you want. Over here we've got our effects section, so we've got a chorus, we get a delay, and a really nice long reverb as well. This could all be bypassed with the master bypass button here. So with the modulation, we've got LFOs that go well into the audio rate. We've also got some super snappy envelopes as well. In addition to the 16 front panel modulation controls, we've also got a 16 slot mod matrix. This allows you to route anything to anywhere, and it even allows you to do stuff like oscillator FM. It can create sounds like this. From that patch you also heard our inbuilt arpeggiator. It's got all the patterns that you expect, up, down, random, and it can even repeat chords. We've also got different sync rates, and we've also got a swing in there as well. So the chord mode is really great with the rhythm, so I'm going to change it to a different rhythm. Latch your arpeggiator and play a chord. with the two sources, these are multiplied together. And one of the cool things we can do is use the Animate buttons. So these act as like a 0 and a 1. So I'm going to put Animate 1 on. I'm going to send it to the filter frequency. And as my second source, I'm going to choose an LFO, but I'm going to make it unipolar instead of bipolar. And I'm going to increase the depth. As you can see, when I increase the depth, our Animate button becomes active. And now I can play a note, and when I press the Animate, we're going to hear LFO on the filter. So these Animate buttons here, they can be used to completely change a patch or just add little subtleties to performance. And we've also got a hold button, so you can keep them constantly active. So moving over to the back, this is the back panel. What we've got balanced outputs. We've got some headphone outputs, MIDI in, out and through as a hardware DIN, and we've also got MIDI over USB. Additionally, we've got two pedal inputs. These can be either expression or sustain, and they can be routed through the mod matrix. And we've also got a CV mod in, which will respond to -5 to +5 volts. You can hook it up to your Eurorack modular and get additional modulation up to 1 kilohertz.
Okay, awesome. So who are you aiming this at? Who's your typical user, for instance?
Okay, so we wanted to create a synth that's really intuitive to use. We've got a lot of front panel controls on here. We want to help people realize the sound in their head, and we want it to be quickly and flexible. So that's why we've kind of gone for the digital front end. So it's always going to be in tune. And we've also got that analog to give it that kind of authenticity to the synthesizer. So yeah, we're looking for like synth heads, sound designers, electronic musicians, but even people in bands. Anyone who needs a synth, this is the most capable one we've got.
And also, it's worth noting that we've got it in this upright configuration, which is not how it actually comes when it arrives.
Yeah, so normally it'll come as a desktop module. It'll sit flat on the surface. It's got nice wooden end panels. But here we've got our Novation die-cast aluminium stands, just to put it up in this upright position. Makes it a bit easier to use the front panel controls.
Awesome. And you can actually read a full review of the Peak in this month's Sound on Sound, which is available in newsagents and bookstores in print, online at www.soundonsound.com, and also in the tablet edition, which is available on iPad and selected Android tablets. So, Danny, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again, I'm sure.